In today's video, I'll be showing you guys my top 10 loadouts that I use for Call of Duty Warzone Mobile. I will cover everything from Gunsmith loadouts to tacticals, lethals, and the type of perk packages I like to use, and sort of my overall thought process of how I like to build my weapons and the type of playstyle that I like to move around with the weapons on Verdansk. Without further ado, guys, let's get on straight into the video. Alright, so talking about custom loadout number 1, we're going to be rocking with the TAQ-56 assault rifle paired with the FJX Siege handgun as my secondary. And as for the tactical and lethals, we're going to be running with the normal stun grenade and the Semtex. And for the perk packages, and just the one that I like to use the most is going to be the Warden, because it gives me double time. That's going to be 30% more longer tac sprint. We have strong arm, so I can throw my equipment faster, whether it be my lethals and tacticals. Fast hand, so I can reload my guns and swap weapon faster, and then quick fix, so whenever I kill an enemy in Warzone Mobile, my health just regenerates instantly, which is really useful. And I think Warden is the best perk package to use in this current state of the game. And like I said, this is going to set the overall theme for all the other loadouts in my list. So, other than that, my handgun doesn't change, my tactical, my lethal, and my perk package does not change. The only thing that's going to change within this loadout list that I have within 10 loadouts is going to be the primary weapon. So talking about my primary weapon, I'm going to be rocking with the TAQ-56, which is my favorite assault rifle in the game. It's a really powerful mid to long range AR inside of Warzone Mobile, and it's my absolute favorite due to the fact that it has absolutely no recoil. So talking about the Gunsmith build really quickly, we do have the barrel, the 17.5-inch Tundra Pro barrel, which gives more damage range, extra bullet velocity. The FSS OLEV laser, which is going to increase our aim down sight speed, sprint to fire speed, and so on and so forth. We're going to be rocking with the Harbinger D20 muzzle on the gun. I do like to keep, so basically what you're going to see in my loadout list is that I'm going to be rocking with sort of a muzzle, a laser, and maybe a barrel. But most of the time, the two consistent attachments that you'll be able to notice on my list is that I'm rocking a laser and I'm rocking a muzzle. You definitely want to stay silenced. The whole point of rocking a Harbinger D20, it's the best silencer in the game. And so, when I'm shooting at my opponents, or when I'm trying to pre-fire things, or if I'm, trying to get some intel and get a few shots into an opponent, and I don't want them to know where my shots are coming from, and I don't want to be seen on the minimap, the silencer is going to play a huge role into helping me just stay stealthy in the map. And then we are rocking with the 40-round mag, and for my ammunition type, I use the overpressured, plus P, which is basically going to make my opponents flinch a lot. So when I'm shooting at them, they're going to flinch incredibly. And the really good thing about this ammunition type is that it has no downsides to it at all. So it's actually really cool. And so for the 40-round mag, you can kind of go in and customize it however you like. You can put it on the 60-round mag. But for me personally, I like the 40-round mag better, because then it, keeps the mobility in line with, how I want to maneuver around, Verdansk. So yeah, but other than that, that's going to be my TAQ-56 loadout. Moving on towards my handgun, the FJX Siege. The FJX Siege serves as an SMG as a handgun. For the barrel, I'm running the STFU barrel, which is a built-in silencer that still gives damage range and bullet velocity. The laser, the FJX DI0D70, which is, again, going to be increasing your aim down sight speed, your sprint to fire speed. I'm using a FTAC folder stock, which is going to increase the mobility by a lot. Ammunition type, you already got it. You already know how it is. I'm rocking with the target flinch ammunition, which is known as the 9mm overpressured plus P. And for the magazine, I do like the 50-round drum mag. You can go ahead and put on the 72 one, but like I said, I like to sort of stay on the go and be quick on my feet, so I don't really want to drag myself along while I'm playing and be super slow on the map. So 15 rounds is quite enough with this gun. And like I said, for every other loadout, I am running the same exact secondary, and it's going to be the same exact attachments too. Going to custom loadout number 2, we're going to be running with the ISO Hemlock. The ISO Hemlock is one of the best ARs currently in the game. I mean, it's definitely one of the best guns in the game as well. So just go ahead and talking about the Gunsmith build. I do, like I said, same sort of concept, same sort of theme. We got the Harbinger D20, it keeps the gun silence, gives you that damage range, gives you that bullet velocity. And this muzzle is very unique because it gives a lot. It has a lot of utility behind it. And like I said, staying stealthy and staying hidden from the minimap is really OP. For the laser, like I said, FSS OLEV laser, for sprint to fire speed, aim down sight speed. We also are running the AIM-OP-V4 optic. I really like this optic sight because it's really concise, and it's kind of like, you know, the medium between wanting to have a long-range optic and a close-range optic. And it doesn't really, you know, impenetrate your field of view too much, so it's really actually nice to use. And like I said, I like to use the 45 round mag. It's the only other extended option available on this gun, so you're definitely going to need to put it. And again, I like the ammunition of the overpressured plus P, which is going to make your opponents flinch, because like I said, there's no downside to using this ammunition. So, you know, like I said, if you put this on every single gun you use, it's going to be really profitable for sure. Moving on to custom loadout number 3, we're going to be rocking with none other than the Lachmann 556. And just go ahead and talk about the Gunsmith build. Same concept, right? 60 round mag, just because you can kind of build it like an LMG. And this thing, even when you do make it heavy like this, the mobility on it is still fantastic. You move really, really efficiently on the map with this gun. Same ammunition type, the overpressured plus P, the AIM-OP-V4 optic, the FSS OLEV laser for that sprint to fire and downside speed, and that Harbinger D20 muzzle, which is going to be the suppressor for this gun. Moving on to custom loadout number 4, we're going to be rocking with none other than the M13B. I really like this. This is a very unique AR. It's sort of like a close range SMG, but just in an AR type of feel. So like I said, just go ahead and talking about the M13B, we're going to be rocking with the VLK LZR7MW laser, which is basically like the same thing as the FSS OLEV laser, sprint to fire and downside speeds, all that nature. The Harbinger D20 keeps that gun silenced. I like the 45 round mag. You don't really necessarily need a whole lot, but since this gun does shoot fast, if you are going to be someone who misses their shots quite a bit, and you definitely need those extra 20 bullets, I highly recommend putting on, like I said, the 60 round mag. The ammunition type, like I said, target flinch, overpressured plus P, incredible ammunition type as always. The optic, we're going to be running the AIM-OP-V4 as well. Moving on to custom loadout number 5, we have the Cronen Squall. The Cronen Squall is a battle rifle. This battle rifle is probably arguably the best gun in the game as of right now. But in terms of the Gunsmith build, this is a little bit more unique because, like I said, battle rifles have a lot more recoil. And this specific gun has a lot of recoil. So I designed this Gunsmith build to really mitigate as much as the recoil as possible, but also keeping that same concept of, okay, we're keeping the gun silenced, we're still using that ammunition type of the target flinch rounds. The only difference is now that we're using an underbarrel. So we have the AIM-OP-V4, and for the muzzle, it's a little bit different with these battle rifles. Essentially, the Polar Fire S is very similar to the Harbinger G20 for ARs. So definitely, like I said, use this muzzle. For the underbarrel, the TAQ Ripper 56 is probably the best underbarrel you can use on any gun if you really want to, if you really wanted to replace a laser. And so that's going to help with that recoil stabilization. Magazine, you guys are obviously going to want to use a 50 round drum mag due to the fact that this is an automatic battle rifle. However, you do have the option to make this a semi-auto weapon, just by, you know, like I said, when you are going in the game and playing, you could just tap on the fire rate type and change it. And as sort of a semi-fire mode, it does a little bit more damage as well. So like I said, it does have that versatility to it. This gun is really good in any situation. Plus, it has a really fast fire rate. Pair that 50 round mag with that AIM-OP-V4 optic with the overpressured ammunition type, which is going to be target flinch. I mean, this gun is going to be unstoppable. We're going to be going into the SMGs, and we have my one of my favorite SMGs in the game, which is the VL46. And just talking about it a little bit, we do have the VLK's LZR7MW laser. I'm running the demo RXT stock. For the ammunition type, we're doing the overpressured plus P. I am running a 50 round magazine on it. And for the muzzle, we're using the X10 RR40. This gun is really good close range. It's one of the best close range SMGs in the game. And it really specializes in close range. It has a little bit more medium range to it, right? So you can kind of, you know, push its limits. It's a lot better than, let's say, like the Vector, for example, because the Vector is specifically designed to be a close range weapon. This is also the same concept, but allowing you to just push the range limit a little bit better. And I've made a ton of videos on it, and I've, you know, had a ton of gameplays where I'm using this gun and just annihilating my opponents, and it's honestly really OP. So I definitely recommend giving it a try and see how you guys like to use it inside of Warzone Mobile. Moving on to custom loadout number 7, we do have the Lachmann Sub. Lachmann Sub is also one of my favorites to use in Call of Duty Warzone Mobile. It's basically a close range to medium range SMG. So it has that medium range component to it, which is actually really nice. So if you want to have a medium range SMG to your loadout list, this is definitely a gun that you're going to need to have. It's definitely worth having in your loadout list, I feel like. And so talking about the Gunsmith build really quick, we do have the X10 RR40 muzzle, where we are rocking with the VLKL ZR7MW laser. Like I said, sprint to fire, aim down, side speed, all that good stuff. And for the underbarrel, I am going to be re-rocking with the Precision 40 lock grip underbarrel. And it's due to the fact that it has a little bit of a hip fire component, a little bit of a recoil stabilization component to it, which is going to be really nice. And this gun has quite an easy recoil pattern to control, but I noticed that whenever I'm not using a grip, the gun just doesn't feel good to use. So when you do use this grip, you're going to need something like this to really help you control the gun much more efficiently for those medium range gunfights. Because like I said, when it gets pretty mixy when you're trying to challenge someone who's using an AR or an LMG at medium range, and you're trying to use an SMG like this. And, this SMG is definitely rewarding to use, but like I said, you're going to want to have that underbarrel to help you control the recoil, as well as if you want to hip fire with it as well. Moving on to custom loadout number 8, we are going to be rocking with the RPK. It's the only LMG on my list. I've probably used every single LMG in the game. And I can quite comfortably say that the RPK probably is still the best, but not by a lot. This current meta, we don't see any LMGs being used. I mean, it's either the Cronen Squall, the ISO Hemlock, the Lachmann Sub, your TAQ-56, guns like that. And so it's really important to note that, in terms of the LMG list, there's not a lot of picks. I think this is the best gunsmith build for it. And I think that overall, if you want to use a really stabilized LMG that's going to hit hard as a rock, like it's going to pound your world, this is going to be the build, right? So we're going to be rocking with the FSS OLEV laser, the AIM-OPV4 optic, the Polar Fire S muzzle. For the underbarrel, we need the FTAQ Ripper 56, and for the ammunition type, we're going to be rocking with the Overpressured Plus P. This gun comes with 75 rounds default. You don't really want an extended mag on this. I think it's a waste. Definitely is a waste on it due to the fact that it's going to really hold your mobility down, and you don't really want to be a snail when you're around Verdansk, because like I said, you're going to need to, position yourself. You want to get to positions around the map with an LMG pretty efficiently and quickly. You want to be faster around the map. You don't want to penalize your mobility that much. So in this case, because the RPK has so much recoil, I've tailored it to having that underbarrel. We have the optic that we need to challenge, far range gunfights. We have the aim down sights component, we have the ammunition type, and we have the suppressor to keep it stealthy. Moving on to custom loadout number 9. We have none other than the second battle rifle on this list, which is TAQ-V. I don't see anyone using the TAQ-V, and it got an insane buff in this last season. I mean, it received an insane amount of buffs, and I definitely think it's a really, really, really underrated. It's sort of like an under the radar type of weapon that nobody's talking about, nobody's using, and I definitely think it's worth having in the list. FSS OLEV laser, Polar Fire S muzzle, 50 round drum mag, the Overpressured Plus P, and the AIM-OPV4 optic. Like I said, this gun literally won't let you down. Incredible. It's an incredible gun. I mean, for a battle rifle, like I said, there's 2 battle rifles that are meta right now. TAQ-V and the Cronen Squall. And like I said, if you don't like using the Cronen Squall and you want to use the TAQ-V, highly recommend it. This thing is absolutely phenomenal. I've probably made a few videos on this gun, and I really like it. I really do enjoy it. Like I said, the damage on it is much more promising and much more rewarding. And because it has that higher hitting capacity, you're going to be able to do a lot with this gun on the map. And lastly, for custom loadout number 10, we had to have a sniper in here because it wouldn't make sense to not have a sniper in our loadout list at all. Personally, I think that the FJX Imperium is really good. I think for snipers, it comes down to personal preference. I don't really snipe a whole lot in Warzone Mobile due to the fact that snipers are kind of weird to use right now. There's a weird lighting bug where when you scope in and when you're ADSing on some guns, and especially with the snipers and on some of the scopes, you'll get a huge flare of white on your screen, and it's just not good. So I don't really like using snipers right now, but in terms of a really good sniper that's going to do a lot of damage, it's going to be the FJX Imperium, and I like to use this build, right? We got the VLKL ZR7MW laser for that aim down sights component, that sprint to fire speed. The muzzle, we got the Nil Sound 90, which basically is very similar to the Harbinger D20, the Polar Fire S and things and so forth. We got the extended round mag, which is 7 rounds. And then for the bolt, I had the FJX Blast, which is going to rechamber the speed of the bullet a lot faster. And for the ammunition type, I think on any sniper, it's either between FJX Imperium and the Victus. You're going to want to run the explosive rounds because, like I said, it's going to have that ability to one-shot at the head. And so, and especially when you're going against vehicles and you want to get people out of vehicles, you know, just hitting like 4 or 5 bullets into vehicle is going to explode the vehicle quite quickly. So that's why you're going to want to use this gun. And I have made a video on this gun as well as the Victus. So definitely those would be the 2 snipers I'd recommend using inside of Warzone Mobile. And with that being said, guys, this is the end of our top 10 loadouts inside of Warzone Mobile. If you guys enjoyed today's video, if you guys have made it in to the video, I really do appreciate it. Go ahead and leave a like, comment, and make sure to subscribe. We're so close to 10,000 subscribers. And this has been your boy Vitor, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.